Welcome to the ESU Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. We are coming to you tonight from Smuggler's Cove on Route 611 in Tattersville. And joining me right now is the owner of our host establishment tonight, Chris Sarajian. Chris, thanks for being here tonight, and thanks for having us here tonight.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to be a part of it.
So tell us about Smuggler's Cove. What's happening here?
Well, Smuggler's Cove has been here for 45 years now. Started by my father a long time ago, in 1978, actually. And we've been through 3 generations, actually, and here we are. We're still going along, putting along.
It is one of the favorite restaurants of many, many people here in the Poconos because of not only the seafood, but the atmosphere and the camaraderie here at the restaurant.
Yeah, we have a lot of regulars. People have been coming here for years and years and years. We're very fortunate.
A great place to bring the family because you've always got a good kids menu as well.
Yeah, good place to have a drink, too.
All right. Yeah. So come on down to Smuggler's Cove on Route 611 in Tattersville. You had a son that played football for ESU. How is RJ these days?
Yeah, he's doing pretty well. You know, he doesn't work. He worked for me for a little bit when he got done with ESU, but now he's out on his own. And yeah, there was a time for 5 years when I didn't miss one game. It was very, very fun experience. Time in my life, traveling all over, watching him grow and watching the team grow, actually.
Yeah. And RJ obviously was a Pocono Mountain high school product because I remember calling his high school games on the radio as well.
Yeah, that was a crazy 12 years. I listened to your voice for a long time. When I sat down and heard your voice, I'm like, there it is.
Thanks, Chris. Tell me about some of the other places that we have right here on the block here.
Yeah, my businesses are, we have another restaurant in Mount Pocono, and that's Bailey's, and then we own Vocelli Pizza right around the corner here, and we have a place in Naples, Florida as well, and we're cleaning up down there right now. That got hit pretty hard. It's right on the bay, so. But we're okay. Nobody got injured, and the staff is okay. But it'll be a couple weeks before we get it all back together.
Why is it important to have your business involved with ESU athletics? And you know, again, not only because of the personal relationship that you and your son had with the university.
Oh well, I played football at Pocono Mountain East many moons ago, and it got me through high school, and it kind of kept me focused. And I know that I'm sure there's some kids in college that also it helps bring them through, and my son might be one of them. You know, maybe they wouldn't have done so well if he didn't have the structure that the program brings to him. So I hope that I can keep seeing it year after year after year, kids coming out, and you know, it seems like it gives them something to work towards, other than just their education.
I mentioned our Friday night broadcasts. We thank you as well for being a sponsor of our Friday night high school broadcasts, Smugglers and Bailey's and Vocelli's, and we certainly appreciate your support on that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. You know, like I said, it's a bunch of kids out there to have fun and hopefully learn something.
Chris Sarajian here from Bailey's and Smuggler's Cove and Vocelli's Pizza, all right here in the Tattersville and Mount Pocono area. Bring the family out for a restaurant experience at any one of them, and you'll be glad you did, and you'll be back soon. Speaking of coming back soon, we've got more to come here on the Warrior Coaches Show. We're going to sit down with head coach Jimmy Terwilliger, visit with a couple of players, and a couple of other surprises to come. So stay with us. We're at Smuggler's Cove tonight for the ESU Warrior Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese from Bigfoot Country 103.1, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Warrior Coaches Show. We are getting around to many different spots in the Poconos. We're here at Smuggler's Cove tonight on Route 611 in Tattersville, and I'm here with head coach Jimmy Terwilliger. And Coach, last week against Lock Haven and a couple of weeks ago against IUP, the Warriors have been so close. Those 2 losses are a total of 7 points, which means you guys are right there. But you still need to get a big win over a team and like Kutztown, like IUP, to really make a mark for your season this year.
Yeah, you know what? You know what they say. It's getting close is only good in hand grenades and darts and horseshoes and everything else. We're getting close, but I'll tell you what, we got to finish. And we have some really good things we can focus on, though. I mean, I thought our defense again played very stout, especially against a good Kutztown run team. And that's been a very big strength. And I'm really happy with our play of Matt DeLaurentis, who you guys will get to talk to tonight. He operated the offense like a seasoned veteran. And we got a lot of football left to play. You know, it's going to start this week at Millersville. It's a good football club. You know, these guys play great defense. They got an offense that's coming around with some good guys. So we got to take it 1 week at a time. We're looking for a Red October. We're excited about it. A lot of things that we can build on, but we got to get over that hump. Starts this week at Saturday at Millersville.
I do want to go back to one thing about the Kutztown game. It had actually happened before the game even started. You know that last week was a big week for big brothers and big sisters. Well, there was a young man that was out at part of the coin toss, part of all that at the beginning of the game. And I was watching him from the moment he turned around and walked back to the sideline. His smile went from ear to ear and back again. He was high-fiving people. You high-fived him as he came off the field. And when we saw the smile and the, just the joy on that young man's face, that just kind of put it all in perspective what the day was about for young men like him.
That's what it's all about. And I take it for granted sometimes. Every Saturday afternoon in my childhood was a football game. And I had a ton of fun being raised around it. And not every young man and young woman has the opportunity to do that. And I hope that more people come to see sporting events. We got some great athletics at East Stroudsburg. Come to a football game, a field hockey game. Right now, I was leaving Eiler Martin Stadium. There was a lacrosse scrimmage going on at 7 p.m. at night. I mean, there's things going on to get involved with at East Stroudsburg, I think, is a beautiful thing. And getting young people around sports, getting them in athletics, gives them something positive to be around. Our athletes at East Stroud, in our department, are great role models. You look at every single one of them, they say hello to each other. It's a great family atmosphere. I'm really proud of them. And I'm proud to be a part of it. And if we can bring that to more people and have more people come and get engaged, get involved, come to our sporting events, the more the merrier. We'd love to have them all. They're always welcome. Special moment for us.
And it was nice to even hear Chris Sarajian say that, the family mentality of the Warrior Athletics. It's more than just in the football program. It goes campus-wide.
This community, and Chris can say he's from Pocono Mountain, and I'm from East Stroudsburg. You've covered them all from the north, east, south, and west. But East Stroudsburg is right in the hub, and that's right in the center of all these great communities. It's a great place to bring people. And guys like Chris Sarajian, who own these local businesses that give back to this, I mean, that's what Blood Runs Thick means to me. It's a special thing, and really, it's a treat to be a part of it.
All right, we've got more to come here from Smuggler's Cove on Route 611 in Tannersville. Stay with us. It's the ESU Coaches Show, brought to you by Bigfoot Country 103.1. We'll have live coverage of the Warrior Millersville game Saturday at 11:30 from Beam Sturfer Stadium. So join us then and stay with us. We've got more to come from Smuggler's Cove on the Warrior Coaches Show. Welcome back to the ESU Coaches Show. We're at Smuggler's Cove on Route 611 in Tannersville, and we've got a champion in the house, Coach Sandy Miller of the ESU field hockey team. What a resume. 38 seasons here at East Stroudsburg University. The 2015 season delivered the program's first ever PSAC and NCAA Division II championship. The Warriors have followed their national title with 3 more NCAA tournament trips, and they have a 67-18 record over the last 4 seasons. The Warriors have been D2 runner-ups twice, and they have been PSAC runner-up 3 times between 2000 and 2017 during Sandy Miller's tenure. But you may not know that Sandy Miller was also the head coach of the women's lacrosse team and served as an assistant coach on the women's basketball team from 1984 to 1985. Where do you find the time?
Well, back then it was a little different, and you were able to do those. But I do remember days where I was like field hockey 2 to 4, basketball 4 to 6, and lacrosse 6 to 8. I was younger back then, so it was easier to do it back then.
Well, we thank you for joining us here tonight on the Coaches Show. 38 years at one school is both rare and impressive. What brought you to ESU, and what would you consider the thing that made this the place that you wanted to call your home?
Well, I just tell you what, initially I thought I'd go back home to Cedar Crest High School in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, and become a PE teacher and coach there. And then the athletic trainer, David Tomasi, said to me, hey, Sandy, you go be a grad assistant somewhere. And so I followed Diane Castles, who was a senior at Lock Haven when I was there and was the hockey lacrosse GA for a year. And then Diane decided to start a family and get out of coaching. So I was very fortunate that I applied for the job that year. At the age of 21 or 22, I was a head coach. And I've been here ever since. They can't get rid of me.
They Can't get rid of you. But, and obviously there are plenty of things to do outside of field hockey. So I'll ask you, what are you most likely to be doing when you get the chance to step away from field hockey?
Yeah, well,
I mean, I know you're a golfer. I've got a question about that coming up. But now I'm told you like to go fishing as well.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot of interests. I love what I do, so I'm not sure when I will retire. I feel the program's in good hands with Katie Ord. But I do enjoy fishing once in a while. I love hiking, especially the national parks. The Poconos is a great place to hike. I do enjoy woodworking and things like that also. So I have varied interests, but, fitness and staying in shape and golfing and things are some of the things I really enjoy doing.
All right. How many club championships have you won at Glenbrook?
A couple, I'm not sure. I just won the most recent one. I was playing golf. I wasn't playing
That's
well.
really the only one that matters, all right?
Yeah, I wasn't playing well at all this summer, but when the club championship came, I was able to put together a 79 and an 80 and win. I birdied number 18 to win by one, so it was pretty exciting. And then on 17, I hit into the crap, so I had to take a penalty, but I still managed to get a par and then birdied to win, so it was pretty exciting that day.
I want to talk a little bit about field hockey. What do you think is the biggest difficulty for students that are coming in to the collegiate level of field hockey? In most sports, I would say that probably the number one answer is the speed of the game. Is that similar in the college level?
Yeah, very similar. It's rare, and I think it goes for most sports. For freshmen to come in and be impact players, we do have one that's starting for us, a young lady from the Netherlands. But yeah, the speed of the game, the speed of the ball, the hits coming, everything is just so much quicker.
Did you have a role model athlete when you were growing up, and would you share who it was?
Well, I tell you what, I was pretty impacted one day watching Diana Nyad swim across the. And Here Comes the Sun was playing, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I think I want to do something with athletics. So I didn't have one impactful athlete, but, I just loved athletics overall and the commitment and things like that. So, my health and PE teacher or my PE teachers in high school, my coaches really were very impactful and very positive influences for me and enabled me to be the person I am today, with competition as a collegiate athlete and then as a collegiate coach.
All right, I'll get back to the golf course. Honest, what's your miss on the golf course? What's your most common miss?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I get 2/3 of the way through the round and I start hitting everything fat. And I can't seem to break that. I'll start off on a really good streak, but then once I start hitting them fat, I can't figure out how to stop doing that. So I wondered if you had do you ever get a slice or a hook that you can't control, and then you have to figure out, well, maybe I have to change clubs off the tee or something like that. I mean, I'm trying to get some help here. You're a club champion.
I guess maybe I hooked my drives a little bit more than I should have this summer, but I can slice it as good as anyone also.
Oh, really? Angelo Ortenzi actually gave me a fix for a slice, believe it or not. Yeah. I'll share that with you the next time I see you on the course.
That sounds great.
Coach Sandy Miller, thanks for a couple of minutes tonight.
Thanks. A pleasure to be here and talk to you, Chuck.
It's a pleasure to have you. We got more to come from Smuggler's Cove as the ESU Coaches Show continues. Make sure you tune in for live coverage of the Warrior football game on Saturday against Millersville. We'll be live on Bigfoot Country 103.1 at 11:30 a.m. But stay tuned. We got more to come from Smuggler's Cove tonight on the ESU Coaches Show. Welcome back to Smuggler's Cove. Guys are drinking beer and eating rolls. Not me. I'm here with ESU defensive backs coach and passing game coordinator, James Daniels. James, tell us a bit about your roles on the coaching staff here at East Stroudsburg University.
Yeah, so I'm in charge of the defensive backs, the whole secondary, just making sure that we are sound in all of our coverages. We run a numerous amount of coverages, making sure our guys fit, making sure the whole back seven fits well into the coverage, so we have underneath help, we have over-the-top help, and we can start creating those turnovers that make our defense pretty electric.
And they've done that pretty well this season. The pick six that Devin Banks had, Tyler Watson has a couple of interceptions. Lots of guys have been involved. Serge Felazor is having a fantastic season this year.
Absolutely. Surge and the rest of the linebacker core are pivotal to our success. Getting to their drops, they cause problems for quarterbacks. So the more that they do that, the more that our defense is able to flourish. And I think that one of the biggest emphases that we had this offseason was creating more turnovers, being in maybe a little bit more zone than we have been in the past, so that we can create some things that manipulate the quarterback's eyes and help us take the ball away.
Now talk about your role as a passing game coordinator, being a DB coach. That kind of dovetails with that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I'm responsible for bringing new coverages and implementing those coverages into our scheme so that we're not so monochromatic with what we're trying to get our guys on the field to do. We can change things up, make it zone alignment looks, man alignment looks, being able to run our zones and get our nickels across the field so it looks like man, but it's really zone. We try to mix it up as much as possible.
Now, James has had the honor of coaching in the Bill Walsh Diversity Coaching Fellowship, and in the past 3 seasons, you've been with the Denver Broncos twice and the Pittsburgh Steelers in their training camps. What have you been able to bring from the NFL training camps to the collegiate level here at ESU?
Yeah, one of the biggest things is our diversity of coverages. The way they teach it and the way I was able to learn from them, not only how they teach their coverages and teach their different techniques, but also how they coach, how they lead. It's been a great help to me, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of our staff and people like Jimmy Terwilliger, Mike Terwilliger, Mike Lackey, helping me get my foot in those doors to be able to help our program get better.
And how do you think it's helped you grow as a coach?
You get to sit inside defensive rooms with Vic Fangio, who's known as a defensive legend, Mike Tomlin, who's just known as a legend in coaching football. So to be able to be around those type of guys, Ed Donatel, who's now the DC with the Minnesota Vikings, Terrell Austin, the DC now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, being around those guys is just invaluable experience.
You played your college football at Mount Union. What drew you to the Poconos?
One of the biggest things for me is I am a Pennsylvania guy. I'm a Pittsburgh kid, but my family lives out on the east side now, so getting a little closer to them was very important. This is actually my 8th job, so I moved around a lot, but being close to my family was always something that kind of drove me. And the Poconos is only 2 hours away from where my family lives now, so it's been a blessing.
I'm going to ask you what I asked some of the other guests here tonight. When you get a chance to step away from what you do on a daily basis, which I'm sure doesn't happen very often in this day and age, but where are we likely to find James Daniels away from football?
Yeah, if you ask my players and our staff, I'm not a very fun guy. For me, I'm either working out, playing sports, or you can catch me on the sticks. Anybody who wants to see me at 2K can come see me.
All right. Who was your favorite player when you were growing up as an athlete at Mount Union?
My favorite player was always LaDainian Tomlinson, man. He was a guy who you could not stop on the ground. He could catch the ball. He was throwing double passes from the quarterback. He was just a guy who could do everything on the field, and seeing him on the field really inspired me to be a great running back. All
right. Now, we have anywhere in the world to choose from. We're eating something somewhere good. Your favorite food, where are we likely to be?
I'm going to give you 2 spots. All right, we got one that's in Buffalo, New York. It's called Elmo's. They make the best wings I ever had in my life. They double dip them. You can get Cajun barbecue, Cajun honey mustard. It's some special stuff. And then also in Cleveland, there's a place called the Fix Bistro, where they make a cheesesteak that also has large butterfly shrimp on top, and it's the best thing.
All right.
Best thing.
All right. Can we get an Uber? James, thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. Appreciate you.
We've got more to come from Smuggler's Cove tonight. Stay with us. And a reminder that live coverage of the Warrior football game against Millersville on Saturday will be on Bigfoot Country 103.1 beginning at 11:30. Stick around. We got more players to talk to next when we come back from Smuggler's Cove. It's the ESU Coaches Show. Welcome back to the Warrior Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. We've got an opportunity to sit down with ESU quarterback Matt DeLaurentis, who's been the starting quarterback for the Warriors for the last couple of weeks. Last year, you stepped into the starting spot against Mercyhurst and Lock Haven, but Matt has been a member of the special teams unit since his very first year here at East Stroudsburg University as the holder on place kicks. So being part of the special teams unit, and we talked about this, before we sat down here, there's really more than just one thing that goes into making a good kick. So go into that, talk about the execution of that play, anywhere you are on the field trying to make an extra point or a field goal.
Yeah, so field goal is not as easy as it looks. There's more that goes into it. Cole Fryer is the long snapper. He's doing an awesome job. I've been with him since my freshman year. Devin Bartholomew, he stepped in after Jordan Walters, and also Jocko, the new transfer kicker as well. So there's a lot that goes into it. You got to keep the time low because you don't want to get it blocked and ruin scoring some points.
So each player has a pivotal role. And talk about that because it's a different snap for Cole Fryer when he's trying to get it back to Jocko on a punt formation than it is when he does a field goal or an extra point.
Yeah, so it all goes down to timing again. Working with Cole and Bart as well, we always try to make sure like laces are always out. If not, I have to spin it a little bit. Working with Devin and Jocko, just getting the ball down and them kicking it as quick as we can. And our defense that we go against too, they bring the pressure, so we know we have to get it done quickly.
Is there a way, I mean, you're not the snapper, but have you talked with Cole? Is there a way to make sure that he snaps it in a certain way so that you don't have to spin it with the laces where you want them to be?
Yeah, he has like some sort of, I guess, hand technique or placement on the ball that he does. I usually tell him to kind of put it anywhere and I'll make it work, but usually we're pretty good and he laces out.
And you've worked with some great kickers, Jordan Walters, who was a record setter at ESU, and Devin Bartholomew. I mean, he's automatic on PATs and has a very, very good field goal percentage this year, 10 out of 12. Talk about the way they approached their craft.
Yeah, so both of them, we've been fortunate enough to have two great kickers because that doesn't happen often. Just knowing if we get within the red zone or a little bit outside of it, we have 3 points on the board is always special to know.
All right, let's talk about quarterback play. Coach Terwilliger always says he's got a lot of quarterbacks in the room right now. He feels he has 4 quarterbacks that can play in this offense. So I want to know what you guys share with each other, what you guys do to help each other and support each other. I mean, we're seeing Jake Cirillo, who can't get on the field right now, but he's there on the sidelines helping the quarterbacks. Talk about that relationship amongst you 4.
Yeah, so all 4 of us, we hang out. All of us stayed up during the summer, just working out, hanging outside of it. We went fishing with Big Twig one time. So we have a close relationship with each other. It's unfortunate with Cirillo going down because he is one of our captains and our leaders. But we do have also a saying we're next man up. So everybody's confident with who has to go in, all 4 of us.
And how do you support each other? When, I saw Sean in there the other day. McTaggart was looking at film, and Jake Cirillo was sitting right next to him. What are those guys going to be talking about when they're watching film together?
Just breaking down coverages, looking at each other, looking at the defenses. Jake obviously has a lot of experience, so he knows what teams and tendencies they're doing. So just helping out the younger guys and making sure they're ready as well.
You came into the lineup against Lock Haven a couple of weeks ago, hit 11 different receivers, and in my mind, that's when this Warrior offense is really clicking, when it's in a rhythm, and when you get a chance to just say, okay, I'm going to find this guy over here, and it might be that guy over there on the next play, and all of a sudden 11 guys get catches.
Yeah, that's awesome to have because the defenses can't really lock in on just one guy. We like to spread the ball around. And we have a lot of talent on receivers outside, slot receivers, and also the tight ends, fullbacks, running backs. So it's kind of hard to stop just and narrow on one guy.
All right, now here we go, the off-football questions. Who were your favorite role models or athletes growing up?
For athletes, I would say Ben Roethlisberger. I'm a big Steelers fan, so I've been growing up watching him, just the way he operates and always extends plays, and I try to kind of simulate that as well.
What's your favorite dessert?
I'm a cheesecake type of guy.
All right. The Walmart sampler, you big on that?
New York style.
New York style, okay. All right, hey, I learn stuff every day I ask these questions. All right. Given the choice, movie, sci-fi, documentary, or action flick?
Action flick.
Fast and Furious, that type of thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that your favorite all-time franchise?
That's a good one. Yes.
Is there a better one than that?
Nah, that's probably the top one.
Matt, thanks for sharing with us. We appreciate it. Matt DeLaurentis, they call him Matty Ice. And would that be your Top Gun nickname?
Probably.
All right, good. Matty Ice here with us on the Warrior Coaches Show. I'm Chuck Seese. We've got more to come, so stay with us from Smuggler's Cove tonight. Welcome back to the Coaches Show. We're at Smuggler's Cove on Route 611 in Tannersville. Stop by here, stop by Vocelli's Pizza, or stop by Bailey's Steakhouse in Mount Pocono. They're all run by the same ownership group, and we want to thank Chris Sarajian again for hosting us here tonight at Smuggler's Cove. We're with ESU defensive end Deshawn McCarthy, who's a Lindy's Sports Magazine preseason All-Division II first-teamer this season. Last season, the accolades included the AFC All-America First Team, D2Football.com Elite 100 First Team, the D2 CCA Super Region 1 Second Team, and All PSAC East First Team. Deshawn, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we've run out of time already because we listed all your accomplishments. So will you come back next week?
I think I could do that.
I didn't tell him I was going to say that. Deshawn, we want to talk about the work that you've put into becoming a dominant player in the PSAC. From the first time you walked on to a fall camp here at ESU to what your season has been like this year, what has that progression been like for you, and how did you dedicate yourself to becoming such a good athlete?
I mean, just going in every day, grinding, going in with my teammates, and just working hard. I mean, I had a lot of people before me that like pushed me to be where I'm at today. I had Joe Doubleday, I had JJ, Justin Johnson. I had a lot of people that pushed me to do great, and they wanted to see me do great things. So that's what helped me.
What do you say to younger players who look at you and say, man, I want to be that next guy. I want to be that guy, to be that defensive end, that guy that's making plays behind the line of scrimmage. How do you encourage younger players?
I tell them every day, when you go in practice, go 100%, go hard. I mean, you never know when the time comes and you go and step in the game. You got to give it your all, and you got to go out there and show out.
You had to battle through an injury this season. Talk about what that was like. I mean, to get back onto the field in the same season, it obviously means that, the injury wasn't that bad for you to not be able to overcome, but it had to be hard being away from the team and not being on the field for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it was hard. Just getting the injury, and it was the first game of the season, just getting it and not being able to go out there with my guys on the second game. It was hard, but I had other defensive ends like Ryan Heber, Deshaun Dixon, Aiden Hayward. I had them step up, Makai Booker. All of them stepped up to the plate, and they went and did their job.
Is there a common theme amongst the defensive linemen? I mean, because you just reeled off a lot of names, and those are all guys that are making contributions. And with Mike Lackey's defense being installed here over the last couple of seasons, it seems like more guys get the chance to step up and be big playmakers.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the phrase now is dominate. We all tell each other every time you go out there, you dominate. I mean, we have a lot of people that's playing. We rotate a lot. So, like, once you get out there and it's your time to shine, I mean, go out there.
Coach Daniels and I talked about food, so I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite home-cooked meal, the one thing that when you go home and you get into that kitchen, that better be what they're working on?
So I'm Jamaican, so my mom
right.
is cultured, so she'll make a Jamaican dish. I like oxtail, so that's what I like.
All right, there you have it. On a deserted island, you get one album, one video game, and one movie. Go.
Album, I'm going to pick Raw Wave 2019.
All right.
What was the next one?
One video game.
Video game, Call of Duty.
What Call of? There's there's 20, aren't there?
Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
All right, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I'm still on the training mission on that. I'm hanging on a balcony right now, and I can't figure out what to do. One movie.
2012.
All right. Was that bad? Was I hard on you? Was I all right?
No, you were good.
All right. Thank you. That'll do it for this edition of the ESU Coaches Show here at Smuggler's Cove on Route 611 in Tannersville. Again, thanks to Chris Sarajian for being here. We've got live coverage of the Warrior-Millersville game Saturday at 11:30 on Bigfoot Country 103.1 FM. And next week we are at Ray Price in Snydersville. So make sure you join us right off of Route 209 in Snydersville. That'll be next Thursday night at 6:30. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thanks for watching the ESU Coaches Show.